Hey guys, backstage at Falls Festival with Tim and Oscar from Holy Holy. How's it going, guys?
Great, thanks.
Awesome. Now, I was at your album launch earlier in the year for When the Storms Would Come. Fantastic album. It's probably one of my top 10 albums of the year, I'd have to say. The response has been fantastic. How have you sort of taken it yourselves?
Well, at first I was just really happy to release the record and get it out in the world, because that's just a huge, I think for any artist it's a big achievement these days to get a record out, and then for it to be received well by people is, I mean, in some ways that's a bonus, and it's really great. Yeah.
That's great. And the single, You Cannot Call for Love Like a Dog, what was that like, sort of getting that out there as well? Because it came out just a bit before the album.
Yeah.
The reaction was good?
Yeah, that was an interesting one, because we had written that song fairly early in our sort of writing collaborative process, and we actually recorded another version of that song that was a bit of a different sort of feeling without the solo and without the big riff. But then we were sort of touring on the road, and at a certain point we got a bit tired of the song, and at a rehearsal we sort of had another look at it, and we remembered at this one rehearsal Oscar had started doing that solo as a bit of a joke, and we sort of started playing around with it, and but really felt like we found this groove that we were really happy with, and we made the decision to go back into the studio and re-record it. And then again we had to make a decision about whether we would trim it down and try and make it in, some sort of 3-4 minute thing, but we decided to do like a full length sort of 5.5 minute song. And when we released it we weren't really sure if people were gonna be like, what is this? But people seem to like it, and we're really proud of it too.
Yeah, it seemed to get a good reaction live when I saw you guys performing, and you've been putting it sort of towards the end to get the real pumping crowd going. Is that the sort of plan going forward with the song?
Well,
we usually keep it as a closer. It's hard to kind of come back after that and be like, all right, now another song, because it is just a really nice one to go out with. But we'll probably do something else, eventually.
Yeah, normally we play the songs in a certain way or in a certain order for a period of time, and then we kind of get sick of it and change them around and write new ones as well. So yeah.
Can we expect the Terminator 2 theme tonight? Because that went off as well when I saw you guys.
So that means what gig were you at?
I was at Howler.
In Melbourne. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we felt like that was a special one-off for that tour.
Nice.
The other weird thing about Terminator 2 is that there's a lot of younger people here who aren't that familiar with it, which is frightening. Sometimes we play Terminator 2 and people are like, yeah, what was that from?
Man, you guys are really creative. That whole sort of
if you do hear it today, it'll be because something's gone wrong and we're covering, because it's our we've got it in our back pocket, especially if I need to go and do something, because the band can play it without any vocals.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I break a string or something, then it's like Terminator 2, and I've got about 3 or 4 minutes.
That's an awesome code to just for the rest of the band. Just can we do the Terminator thing? I got to do something. Yeah. Any other movie adaptations you're looking at doing?
Wow.
At the moment, we're looking at Phil Collins.
Oh, nice.
You're the first to hear it.
In the Air Tonight, or?
Which one was it again?
It's Another Day in Paradise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cruisy.
But we're thinking about doing that for the next tour.
For the next tour in January. So yeah.
Great. Well, that's a whole national tour as well.
It's a national tour. It's less extensive than the one we did earlier in 2015, but it's just capital cities and going to Newcastle as well.
Are you looking at debuting some new songs on this tour as well?
Yep. Yeah. We have been playing a couple of new ones in the set, one in particular, but we've always got them coming out, and as in going through the writing process, and then it's just when we rehearse them and play them, it's what sort of comes together the quickest and the best and what feels good, and then we'll...
And you gauge the crowd reaction for what may or may not make it onto a future EP or album?
Yeah, or change the arrangement around and so on, and see what works in the live setting, see what kind of reaction it gets, I'd like to... We've got one song up and running that's not on the album, like a new one, and I'd like to get at least one more up for the next tour, so...
Yeah. Fantastic. And looking at recording any new music over the next 12 months and releasing something later in the year?
Hopefully in the second half of 2016 to have something out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for having a chat. And also the proceeds from your merchandise here at Falls Festival to go to the Red Cross in regards to the bushfires that happened through and the relocation of Lorne. That's a very generous offer. Tell us a bit about it. You just decided this would be something good to do?
Well, I mean, there's a few bands doing it, and I mean, we feel like, for me personally, the Great Ocean Road and that part of Victoria, I'm from Melbourne, and that part of Victoria is quite close to my heart. I've always been from Melbourne going west, and my family has got a place down that way, and the fires came quite close to them, and so I can understand how heartbreaking it is to lose a place. And I mean, it's from our merch proceeds, profits. It won't be a huge amount of money, but it's something, I think. And I think that, like, I think bushfires are obviously every year they come around, you know, and there's always something every year. And this year might be a particularly bad one. So I mean, it's really just a token of something that we could do, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, it's gracious, and all the best with the show later today, guys. And looking forward to the tour in January and big next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.